Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Jennings, and over the next 14 minutes and 50 seconds, I'm going to take you through a bit of an overview of what digital art can mean to mid-career artists, new artists, or if you're an art dealer, how to introduce this to the artists you know. There are some significant shifts happening at the moment within what's called the NFT space, non-fungible tokens, which allows provenance to be verified and built in to the creation of the artwork when it goes live on the internet. But first, I'll just like to share a little bit about why I'm recording this. The course, the Digital Artist Economy, is a cohort-based course for artists to learn together. So this isn't a video series, it's actually a live workshop. IPO your art, earn commission for life is a new concept. Before this, artists have had to sell their work through a gallery or online, and you got paid for it once when a buyer or collector purchased it. That's no longer the case. There is a possibility to write into your contract digitally that you get a royalty every time your artwork sells. That is phenomenally different and offers a unique opportunity. So if you're in one of these three groups, artists with an established history, artists who deserve provenance, if you think you need a bigger stage than just Instagram and likes, or if you're an art dealer who is new to minting digital artwork, then listen on. This is probably for you. If you're interested in just skipping right through to the course itself, the link down the bottom at maven.com/cache/NFT Digital Artist Economy is the place where you can apply to join the next cohort, which starts in October, but you will need to register by the September the 11th. All right. My name's Ryan Jennings. As I said, this is me looking way more serious and probably uptight than I am now. This is a picture that was taken of me a few months ago in the capital city of Wellington in New Zealand. That is a moment in time, actually, where in my career, I had just launched the world's first trademark licensing system protected by AI for software companies who export globally from New Zealand. It was through some research I did at Victoria University. And now I'm leveraging that and using what I learned there to help the next 10,000 artists who join the digital artist economy have their lives transformed through the Commission for Life art movement. So this technology is nascent, it's early, it's at a similar stage as it was for musicians when I got into selling MP3 players in the early 2000s, late 90s. But the difference here is provenance and ownership gets protected by the artist. We all know what happens if you can't protect the artist. They get exploited or leveraged by platforms for audiences and attention. So in this course, you will generate your first art collection with a tradable digital history for art fans that pays you commission for life. All right, let's get into it. So the marketplace for creative talent has changed. There are new platforms, OpenSea, Rareable, Foundation, Super Rare. These are the new platforms. In this course, you will understand and learn and get to practice how to set up your own marketplace, how to look through your back catalog of art and mint your first digital artwork for sale. We'll also cover pricing and commission setting. So lots there. Today, we're really just focusing on marketplace buyers and the marketplaces themselves. So let's get into it. Web 2 buyers. These are people who buy art already online on the internet. Not a big marketplace until 2020 through the pandemic. that lockdown caused a massive spike in the number of people purchasing art online because, of course, galleries were closed. Auction houses and art fairs boosted their digital presence in response, and online viewing rooms became the norm, letting art collectors and enthusiasts experience 3D digital reproductions of artworks, as well as participating, right, in streaming auctions and events. So the norms changed. This Roy Lichtenstein painting sold for $41 million at an online auction of Christie's. So nothing really that new there. There's still an auction. It's still on the web we know and understand. But here's where it starts to change. This is the Web3 marketplace. It's decentralized. It is founded on the blockchain, and it's where digital art gets sold and bought by people who are interested in NFTs, these non-fungible tokens. So far, according to some stats from Richard here, who is quite prominent in the community, there are just under 1 million NFT art buyers currently, and on average, they own around 10 digital artworks each. So what does that look like in terms of where artists are putting their art in the marketplace? Well, there are a whole lot of new names. Names like Known Origin, Maker's Place, Foundation, Super Rare, Nifty Gateway. These are all legitimate places now where art is being listed by artists for sale in Ethereum. And we'll come on to that currency part later. There's some big collectors in this space. Artchick.eth, also known on Twitter as Digital Art Chick, is a big collector. And as of today, she said she's no longer selling art, just holding on to it for the long-term investment of it. So prices for digital art are still far lower and more accessible than the old art world, the physical art world. And the market is global. No longer do you have to rely just on your city or country-based galleries. You've now got an international platform to sell your work. And there's some really happy artists as a result. IX Shells here from Los Angeles. Just in 5 months, you can see how her art price at each unit has started to trend upwards. And that's brought her in nearly 110,000 US dollars. Collectively, the marketplace is worth around 635 million US dollars, which translated into this funny, unusual term called Ethereum, is around 291,000 ETH or Ethereum. All right, so if you're still with me this far, then let's continue on to start to compare the physical marketplaces we're all used to, and then compare them to these new attributes of these new marketplace. So there's really two types of physical marketplace. There's the curated type and the open type. What do I mean by that? Well, Saatchi's gallery in London is a curated type. If you are an artist and want to have your work there, you're going to need permission. They're going to need to ask you to come in and want to show you. So here's an example from Dimitro, and he's been accepted, and he's trusting that Saatchi's will do a great job at putting together the art collection in a way that brings his art to life. In contrast, on Instagram, Banksy gets to choose what he puts up on Instagram. No one tells him what to do. However, that comes with a downside. It is generally an untrusted environment. You don't know who's behind the profiles, and unless there's a verified Twitter, a blue tick, it could be someone that's trustworthy or not trustworthy. And that can lead to some problems around verification. On this slide, you can see all the different showings of people pretending to be Banksy around the world. These are all fake exhibitors, fake exhibitions, yet they were being sold as real tickets. So Saatchi's art has these benefits: brand trust, trusted reviews, independent art curation, and a warranty if you don't get the art that you're expecting to get. In the open marketplace, Banksy will do the authenticity check through his own website. It's called Pest Control at banksy.co.uk. So let's now move on to what that might look like in the digital art space, comparing it to the physical art space. All right. So physical art, here's an example of Genevieve Innes. She is a London Art College student who got accepted at Saatchi's Art Gallery. So in the physical space, that means she's got time and space to put her art in there. And it's a great kind of tick that this is an emerging up and coming artist with some wonderful work around highlighting the stories of African Americans in the history of the UK. When it comes to online, she places that same work on Instagram. Less control over the art experience, but still possible to get her artwork out to a broader global audience. However, when it comes to selling digital versions of her quilt, it's quite a difficult thing to do because there's no way of a buyer buying just a print version. You can right mouse click and save, but it's not a really good version. So there's more work to be done in this Web 2 environment. Let's move on to Web 3. And this is where the opportunity lies if you're an artist. Digital artwork is being sold on these platforms. So let's take one example before we move into the platforms. Damien Hirst, not very long ago, just a couple of weeks ago, said they're both art and they're both equal. I had to buy into that first, and I have to buy into the idea that I'm happy with destroying physical art and destroying the NFTs or digital artwork. I've got absolutely no idea what people will do. He's just finished selling 10,000 NFTs, which people can trade in for a physical artwork or keep the NFT. So the catch is you have to destroy the NFT to get the physical artwork, or destroy the artwork to keep the NFT digital artwork. So who knows what people are going to do. This is an early experiment by a very successful living artist. Now onto the platform side. Super Rare is a curated platform. You have to apply to join. I've left the link on there for you. And once you're accepted, your art is curated amongst a much smaller group than an open platform in the digital space where people can buy and sell your digital artwork. It must be original, must be created by you, must be created digitally, and it mustn't be tokenized and available for purchase elsewhere on the internet. So it's got to be some of your best work to make it. And the bar is high. So far, 26,500 artworks are on there, 1,409 artists, according to Crypto Art. And in the last week, there's been 719 artworks sold, 225 active collectors in the last month. That's just one platform. Foundation is another, and you can see on the right-hand side here, the artist has minted the work and then bids come in like an auction on top of it. Maker's Place is another platform. On the right-hand side here, it shows you some of the digital provenance attributes that go beyond just what you would normally expect to see as a JPEG or PNG or PSD file. These are verifiable marks on the blockchain and on the unit number of the artwork and the ID that you can look at on Etherscan to say, okay, this was minted by this particular person or artist. Known Origin is another platform. Again, on Web3, you can log in with your wallet and start minting your works for sale. Nifty, yet another one. This is an email login rather than a wallet cryptocurrency login. And one I saw just recently, EPHIMERA, for lens-based artists, both photographers and videographers. Really interesting. You do need to be invited to be part of the platform. But once you're on there, you can sell the photos that up until now, you've only been able to put on Instagram and get likes. Now you can actually get money, currency in the form of Ethereum, which you can then withdraw to US dollars. Okay, so we've covered quite a bit in a short amount of time. Here's a little summary of the marketplaces that are curated art for artists that want to be known as a place where they've been selected and it's slightly more refined. Bookmark these marketplaces or write them down now and avoid links or Google searches to find them, because there are various phishing attempts to get you to log into sites that are not the authentic sites. And because this is quite a new space, it's easy to get those details wrong. So write down Super Rare, Maker's Place, Nifty Gateway, Ephemera, Known Origin, Foundation, or pick one and go with that. If you join the Cache course, Digital Artist Economy, we'll go through these in more detail about actually how to set one up and what you need to do to set up your wallet and how to look through your back catalog to decide what art to show. These are the three biggest ones: Nifty, Super Rare, Foundation in terms of volume. In July 2020, 1 million went through. July 2021, 11.3 million. So we're seeing real growth there. Still tiny in comparison to the old art world, the physical art world, or art sold via Web 2 that doesn't involve either cryptocurrency or a decentralized internet. There are, of course, open platforms where you don't have to at all be selected. You can put your work up if you're just starting out as an artist, or if you're not an artist at all, you can put anything up there. There really isn't any checks and balances. It's been quite successful with a certain type of launch of art shows with AI generative art, where characters are created en masse, thousands at a time. But that's just one format. There are, and I would encourage you to look through these sites to get a feel for what art is selling and also how your style might fit in or stand out. Rarible is another platform. They have an area called Popular Collections. You can see what is selling well, what people like. That's the first step here really on the journey, is having a look around the platforms, the marketplaces, and getting a feel for how would your art look here? Who is going to buy? Are you bringing along your fans, or are you looking for new ones that these platforms have already attracted? Mintable is another platform. I don't know as much about it here. I've put it just as a template slide for now. Cargo, Zora, and Mintbase. These are also up and coming platforms, or ones that I haven't delved into personally as much. But the space is getting bigger, and so it can be a place to start to look into. The two biggest platforms by far are OpenSea and Rarible in terms of volume of buyers. In the last week, OpenSea brought in 30,000 buyers, Rarible 3,500 buyers. So if you're looking on the open marketplace side of things to mint and sell your digital artwork, these are the ones to go for. OpenSea and Rarible, I would start there. And if you want to look at some of these others like Zora, Mintable, Cargo, Mintbase, be more than welcome to. All right, we're coming to the end, but there's one thing I want you to take away with you. Domain names and your identity as an artist in the Web3 realm is different from Web 2. If you own a domain name now and your Instagram name, and maybe even Twitter, but if you have assets that are important to you because they are the art brand that you stand for, you want to start considering owning that space in Web3. So the first part to look at is purchasing, or at least seeing if your name is available in the .eth space, .eth. And the way you can do that is go to ens.domains, look up your name and check if it's available. So I did a quick check on Damien Hirst's name and it says it's still unclaimed, but it's not possible to purchase that name right now. I've purchased my own name on there as Ryan Jennings.eth, which gives me credibility, and also it's the address of my wallet. So if anyone buys my art, then I can get paid just using my name or my .eth address. They're at different prices. For a 5-character one, they're $5 per year. 4-character, it's $160 a year. 3-character, very small ones, of $640 a year. All right, so that has been an overview of marketplaces and the possibilities that might start you on a brand new creative journey with digital art. As I said, this is part of a broader 5-module course that I'm running on Maven called the Digital Artist Economy. And the deadline for registration, if this is something you would like to start with, is the 11th of September this year. Then the class goes from start of October through to the start of November. It would be great to have you on the journey. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a tweet at Business Kiwi, or you can drop me an email at ryan@ryanjennings.net. Otherwise, go to the website below here, maven.com/cache/NFT digital artist economy. And hopefully you'll be part of the first cohort where we're bringing more exciting talent into this space to introduce you to some of the art collectors and art buyers that can't wait to see what you create next. Thanks for watching this. Appreciate your time. I'm Ryan Jennings. Take care.